of like sleeping is this, like you said, wake up in the morning, there's only so many hours left. I've got to go to sleep to get my 8 hours sort of thing. And it's constant battle with it. And when things change, you worry about it. Oh, I got in at 2:00. I'm not getting my 8 hours. I've got to be at training. And oh God. And then suddenly a day comes when you haven't got to go to work and you just lie in bed all day and waste your day or whatever, catching up. So it kind of like, it just makes it a far more sort of, from an athlete's point of view, from anybody who's a high achiever or influencer, I think the objective was, could we find a way of not spending so much of our life asleep doing nothing?
Yeah.
Could we not find a way to do this in 20 minutes a day, right? Because it's a hell of a lot of time for us to be doing something we have no control over. Our brain takes over. And it's a lot, isn't it? So they like the fact that they're not going against what we know, right? We know that in any 24-hour period, you need to be 8 hours, 30-odd% of that needs to be in this recovery state, right? That's a fact. If you start challenging that, 6 hours, 5 hours, then you know the consequences, right? But this business of all in one place is also counterproductive. So they love it when they start going, did that 30 minutes, smash the evening. Did that at 12 o'clock at night, did that at 11 o'clock. Didn't even, I got back from the game, absolutely wired, but I stayed awake for another cycle and just got 2 cycles because I knew that if I tried to go to sleep, I'm wired from the game. I need to chill out, hydrate, listen to some tunes, maybe play a game, bring it all down. And I could have got 3 cycles, but I chose to just have 2 because the bit of just not rushing into the house and diving into bed, so it's all this mindset about not worrying about it, but knowing how to reveal it and just understanding that if you looked at what you were doing yesterday, you had a very random approach of a start time, a sleep time. Nothing really was focused on your recovery or your ability to sleep. It's just you crack on with your day. There's no relationship with circadian rhythms. There's no relationship with chronotype. There's no sort of structure to what you're doing. There's no definitive guide. So you can safely say you have got the most random approach to this that you could ever imagine. So why would you spend, it's 8 hours of sleep. Well, there's at least an hour before then of, getting your PJs on. There's at least, half an hour or so in the morning from point of wake, just trying to get yourself going. So this is not 8 hours. This could be 9 or 10 hours out of 24 that you are allocating to sleep. And all you've got is the most randomest approach ever. Now, where in anybody's coaching world would you apply those protocols? No way. No way. So why did you do it for 30% of the day?
So what were some of the if people weren't getting their full allocation of sleep that they would need, what were the negative impacts you were seeing?
What, from the quality of sleep?
Yeah, so injuries.
It's endless. It's that's why there's so many variables that can impact on your ability to sleep. There are also, you could attach, the human recovery is all about these stages of going into a sleep state, right? And as you wander through these stages, some of the stages, they're all beneficial to you. The light sleep stages, all the slow wave brainwave patterns. But the bit that you sort of classify as deep sleep, REM, non-REM, can only reveal itself maybe 20% of any period. So it's not like you're in it all the time. And so that's the area where your brain literally puts you in the most vulnerable position as a human being, right? You are in your most vulnerable state in deep sleep. So to get there, a number of factors need to be in place. So if you don't get that level of recovery, then you're not, whatever you want to call it, repairing, rejuvenating, giving organs, muscles, joints, thoughts, this, to allow them a bit of respite, to replenish, to repair and things like that. Is that if you're not getting that, then literally you could point it at absolutely everything. So the long-term consequences, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, shorter life than you would have imagined, organ failure, this sort of stuff. In the immediate one, anxiety, stress, worry, suicide, burnout, addictive behaviors, relationships, anger management, uh, becoming a shadow of who you actually are, but you don't notice it. You just suddenly become who you are, and you think that's your PB, that's who you are, and you're at your best. But actually, what we do is there's somebody else who's just a little quicker. Their decisions are a little better. Their awareness, things don't hit them. So you kind of think we should be the healthiest, fittest, most knowledge human population that have ever walked on this planet. Why? And I don't talk for the whole world, but why over the last few years I've heard nothing more than mental health and well-being, and all the associated side effects, whatever age group you're in. This big social experiment. Why are we getting that? And I think it's just because we've just been applying a very, very random approach to something that is far more significant to us as human beings than we've ever looked at. We've always said it's important. We always know it's important. But I really think there's a long way to go for us to really understand what's going on here, and to be able to develop and keep redefining this process. And that's why it's great to be working with a lot of young people and professionals like yourselves, is that, I may have been redefining it over 2 decades in a sort of random journey way. And maybe there is something to work on with what I've created, but let's go again. Let's go again, because that's the next step for us.
I think I read as well that if you start to dip below your 6 hours of sleep, you become 70% more likely to get a physical injury as an athlete as well, which is an insane way of looking at it. And I think you're right with our relationship to how we sleep and the way we sleep and our environment. And that's kind of the next bit I wanted to talk about, the environment in which you